Okay. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Office Hours. So today we're going to be talking about what is your strategy. So I want you to think about chess as our metaphor for today. And let me first say, I know nothing about chess. I'm a pretty wicked checkers player, but I know nothing about chess. However, my middle child was the, 13-year-old champion. No, he wasn't the champion. He was like number 9 in the nation, took private lessons. We did the national competitions, all sorts of fun that we had. He could tell you all sorts about chess and the opening game. I can't tell you a darn thing. I don't even know which moves first, black or white. I should know that because I just watched Harry Potter the other day. You know that scene, where they're playing wizard's chess. Anyway, but I did open my business in 2004. And so here was what I was worried about. Here was my strategy. So I had, Linda will love this. I had left ICF. I was working part-time. I was teaching at Kennesaw. I had 3 children at home. I had let's see, when I started Macro, I think Zach was like 3 or so. And then when I left, he was 5-ish going into kindergarten. And I was recruited out of that office. Some of you guys know this story, to head the Office of Child and Youth Protection at the Archdiocese of Atlanta, and had nothing to do with evaluation, everything to do with program development. And the church was in the height of the sex abuse crisis. So I felt like it was a really important time. I lasted 4.5 months. They got really tired of telling me, or me telling them, that they were not doing what they needed to be doing. So that gig did not last very long. So I cried for 9 months, and always had this dream of starting my own business. I even found a card where I had sketched out the name of my business, and guess what? It was Community Evaluation Solutions. So that seed had been in me for a really long time. And when my husband and I talked about whether or not I should do this, his only deal was, can you pay your school loan back? Some of you may have heard this story before. I was also concerned about balancing work and family. When I left ICF, before I even decided, I really kind of looked at the work-life balance or lack thereof. I think that's very typical of big social science research shops. And I don't want to say anything. I mean, my experience was very positive. I loved my colleagues. They were super smart, doing interesting work. But I was working part-time. And when it got really busy, I was working 40+ hours as a part-time person, and the full-time people more so. And I really wanted to be there for my kids, baseball games and soccer and all of those kinds of things. So that was a concern. And then really my main goal was to do evaluation work. It was really that simple. So I got my first contract, and I was off to the races. So thinking about kind of the middle game. And again, I really don't know a whole lot about chess, other than there is something called a middle game. And in my middle game, I was trying to figure out, how do I make a profit? I had been working for a couple of years, and I went to my husband, who's been in business like forever, and said, I'm working really hard, but I don't feel like I'm making a profit. Because, you pay yourself, but your business also has to make money. And he kind of looked at the spreadsheet that I had worked out, and he goes, well, golly, silly, you're not charging profit. You really need to think about profit and overhead. And then over the years, managing growth became, a real issue. I had been in that pain point that small businesses get in, that you either have to stay small or you have to grow. You cannot stay in one place, for sure. And then I guess my only other strategic goal would be to, I really wanted to be more engaged in AEA. I wanted to be a leader in the TIGs that I was involved in, and really be a presence for what is my professional home. And then, I wouldn't say it's my end game, but I'm certainly not where you are. I've been doing this for almost 20 years now. So I'm kind of thinking about, what do I want to do next? So I really want to lean into social change work. I'm a community psychologist. That's my professional identity. I just happen to do evaluation My tagline has always been partnering for social change. I'm making really strategic decisions about the kinds of clients that I work with. I have that goal of being recognized as an authority in this space, which has taken me a while to kind of wrap that coat and be comfortable around that. It still feels very uncomfortable sometimes to wear that skin, but I know that I only have so much time left in my career, and I really want to make the most of it. As I just told somebody who couldn't join us today and asked for just some private time, I just told her that I'm going to be like Gail Barrington. I'll probably never retire, but I certainly don't want to work the kind of hours that I've been working. And so I have very specific strategic goals about what I want to do. I started a podcast. I'm making different decisions about the kinds of clients that I work with. I moved from from having full-time employees to having subcontractors as a way to meet clients' needs. I had very, very specific strategic goals in terms of my newsletter, my podcast, the type of work that I do. I hired a business coach about 8 or 9 months ago, and I meet with her this afternoon, and she is that hand behind my back, pushing me forward, or sometimes the kick in the butt that you need as a business leader. And I'm getting a lot of value out of that. So I'm making strategic decisions. So what I want you guys to think about, well, let me summarize in the fashion of Matt. I want to encourage you guys to start now. Start with your end game. Don't do what I did. I always feel like I'm telling you all about my mistakes on these calls. So don't just through your business. Really think about the end game and set strategic goals to help you get there. Network, whether it be these calls or the IC chats or the independent consulting TIC or in your local affiliate. That really is how I built my business. Speak often. I always tell all of the folks that I work, all the folks that I've mentored, especially the young women, to always show up in a meeting and say something. Even if you're on a call with 100 people, say something. If you're in a conference room, don't sit in the corner, don't put baby in the corner, sit at the table and find something to comment on. If you were in a conference session, find something to comment on, let people know you are there. And then volunteer for leadership position. It's very easy to get involved in TIGs. They're always looking for leaders. So whatever your content area is, step up and volunteer. So I want you to be thinking, I hope you've been thinking about what are your strategic goals, because we're going to be having a conversation about that. So that is what I have to present for you today. As always, here's my contact information, and we're going to talk about strategic goals. And I want to hear about something, an accomplishment you're proud of and a place that you are stuck. So thanks everybody. And I'm going to turn off the camera and we are going to have this conversation about strategic goals. Okay.